Friends too.
Hey, what's up, guys?
No.
What the fuck?
First of all, I want to start with that little bleach bangs with the smoke at the end of the intro.
What's that?
That little smoke at the end with the bleach bangs logo.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. That's I don't think I've really ever paid attention to that, and it's a really cool little ending to that. I love it.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you.
Now let's start with some sad news. 43 years ago today, we lost Randy Rhoads.
Oh.
So I wanted to get that out there and early because I don't want to bring the show down in the middle or later.
Well, it was now Randy Rhoads Music Day at my job site today.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, might as well get it all thrown out there. Ted Poley's drummer on the Monsters of Rock cruise having a heart attack.
Yes, I did see that. I think I saw something that said he's recovering. He's doing well.
Yeah.
I didn't read I just saw the little, I think Ted posted a little clip that had a picture and said something about he's recovering well. I don't remember what it said.
Yeah. It seemed like he was going to be okay and everything was going to be fine. But, I mean, 80s bands, I mean, they're getting up in age. Bound to happen.
I mean, since we're on the sad news, one of the main writers to Courage the Cowardly Dog passed away a couple days ago. Not music, but that makes me sad.
Not going to be offensive to you, but I have no idea what that is or who you're talking about.
All right, you don't have anyone my age around, so never mind.
It is very sad though. But even though I didn't know what that was,
a great cartoon that I loved as a kid.
Yeah, I bet you know who it is if you saw, or you would recognize the cartoon if you saw it. Oh, well, that kind of sucks.
Got to start off gloomy and then start just kind of working uphill from there.
Yeah. Well, we should have done the two deaths first and then went to the, hey, but he's going to be okay.
Oh, yeah. True.
Well, I don't think anyone expects me to bring up Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Let's talk about some positive and fun stuff. Your wife has been out there taking photos of a lot of stuff. I've been watching and seeing photos. Like, what's the last shows that she's been at?
You would ask that as soon as she's been waiting this whole time to see if Ashton brought his baby up here.
Oh.
I'm like, you're gonna have to tell your wife to FaceTime her or something with.
Is she that excited?
Baby. Winger. Oh, she came back up.
She heard.
Who did I
I just shoot before we went to the wedding?
She doesn't know. No, just kidding.
Fair enough.
I will say that we're going to go to Steel Panther next week. She was approved to do that. I think this is her 57th time shooting Steel Panther.
It's not either. It's my 69.
Oh my God.
69.
Wow.
That's absolutely incredible. Are you going to make it to that show, Randy?
Yes, I'm going to go.
That's awesome. Those guys are so much fun live.
They are fun.
I have had the chance to see them a few times myself live, and I've never been disappointed. I know they're back in KC soon, but I'm not going to be there for that one.
Right? Yeah, it's one of those things. You just have to see them when they come to town, no matter how many times you've seen them.
I will say before we pull our guests in here, this weekend I am going to see Pretty Boy Floyd, though. So that'll be a great weekend for me.
That is pretty cool.
But enough about us.
Yes. We've got Nathaniel and Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
What is happening?
What up?
Great to see you guys. So happy you could join us tonight. I just kind of want to introduce ourselves real quick for you. My name is Randy, and I'm in Oklahoma City.
I'm Ashton, and I'm in Piedmont, Oklahoma.
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
Well, hey, guys.
Hey.
Are we supposed to do ourselves as well?
Sure.
Okay.
Wisconsin.
I'm Nathaniel. I'm the singer of Archers. I guess I'm at my home in Wisconsin.
Hey, I'm Ben. I play guitar in Archers, and I'm in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
All right. So is it nice to see what the walls of your house actually look like now?
Oh yeah, it's weird. I only get to spend about maybe like 5 months here out of the year, if that. So like, yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh, you poor guy. Oh my goodness, yes. So that being said, you guys just came off of a tour with Catch Your Breath and Funeral Portrait, and it was called the Broken Souls Tour. So can you tell us a little bit about that and what kind of misbehaving happened on that tour?
For sure. Yeah, I'll go. I think Nathaniel might have dropped out or something. But the tour was awesome. Catch Your Breath, Funeral Portrait were both awesome. Also, our buddies and If Not For Me were on that tour. They were absolutely incredible. Every band on it just absolutely smashed. And I mean, I feel like every day there's like something new in the realm of like shenanigans that happened that was just kind of like a bunch of idiots that happen to play metalcore and also like all become best friends out of nowhere, like all at the same moment. So there was just always like fun, goofy, wild something or another happening like all the time during that tour.
Awesome. Did they like christen you guys at the last show like bands usually do? They get up there and they pull some sort of prank on you?
So it was kind of a free-for-all for our last show. Everybody was, like Ben had said, we all really got along, and it was basically just like being with family the whole time. And so by the end of it all, I don't know, like we just, everybody was pranking everyone the entire night. The rest of that throughout that show, I think there was lots of shenanigans. I stole Patty's shoes along with Rob. At one point during If Not For Me set, and then there's a lot of features, a lot of people coming up and singing on their friends' songs. We got pranked by Catch Your Breath because their crew like found a small basketball hoop and was like bringing it on stage and dunking on everyone, which was funny. And then Catch Your Breath, we kind of went all out, and all of the rest of us support bands just kind of went up there during their set, during their last song, and started playing beer pong. Like we brought a We brought up a beer pong table and all the stuff. And I don't know, at some point, me and Patty from If Not For Me got into a fake fight, and I threw him through the table during their set. So that was fun. But yeah, definitely there's always some end of the tour shenanigans on those days.
Yeah, I've always kind of wondered, is it better to see a band at the beginning before they're wore out, their voice is trashed and thrashed, or is it better to go the last night to go and see them because you know some shit's gonna go down?
It just depends. Some bands don't really hit their stride until like week 2 anyway, you know? So like a lot of times these bands, like a lot of times touring bands, they live all over the country and maybe they'll only rehearse a couple of times. And normally they don't, you know, a lot of us don't really need it. We're on the road that much where, you know, like just kind of jumping right from the next thing to the next thing is fine. So it really just depends on who you're going to see. Like I know some people get really beleaguered the longer they stay on the road, and it gets hard. You know, I get it. It does get hard. Personally, I don't know. I tend to have a pretty. I think like my first few days are like getting in the groove of things, getting to meet all the new people. So like, I think, you know, we're at our best after just anytime after the first couple of days, personally, from like just from my mindset, and then at that point, like honestly, the coming to the last show on a tour, especially for people who came to the last one in Denver, or where were we? Yeah, wherever we were. Like I'm sure they got an extra experience because of the fact that we were all being stupid and all that. So I hope it was fun for them too. Everyone, all the TikTok videos seem to be having a good time.
Yeah, I was checking out a whole bunch of them. I'm telling you, your guys' live performance is fucking fire. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they are very consistent. These guys fucking rock, man. Yeah. And I hate it because you guys were actually in Oklahoma City and I missed it.
No.
Yeah, so I'm kind of kicking myself on that one.
Well, I'll kick you too if that helps.
Right?
Feel free to kick Randy anytime. I do want to say that I know that I have a friend of mine named Casey that she made the trip from Topeka to St. Louis, the 5-hour drive to come out and see you guys.
Damn, that's
so you guys are pulling from miles away for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. That's so nuts to hear. But every now and again, we'll get people saying, I mean, actually not every, it's almost every day we'll get someone coming up to the merch table or something, be like, hey, I drove like 8 hours. And we're like, you're actually crazy. Oh, wow. But I think it's so cool. Like, you know, get people flying in. We managed to finally hit Canada this year, but we get people flying in from Canada, you know, get people like, you know, when we're getting to the point now where we're doing full US stuff, so it's a little bit easier to get to most people's backyards. But like when we were coming up like a couple years back, when we were out for like a week and a half at a time, you know, we're only covering like a tiny bit of the US every time we go out. So like we'd have people flying in from who knows where, you know, all over the place. And like it still happens. We had somebody coming in from I think it was like Cancun. We had some people on the last tour from Mexico flying in from Mexico. It was so cool. And so yeah, it just like I'm boggled, but I'm someone who doesn't leave his apartment unless like I have to go out and tour, like over multiple states, you know. So I think it's really cool.
I feel that it's kind of like, do I get out and go to this? But it just, I totally get what you're saying. But driving 8 hours, man, that's huge, guys.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah. I think we had at least one person over the year fly all the way from the UK to come see us. So that's insane. But you know, it's just insane. It's cool what people will do.
Hell yeah! So Never Enough. You're on Octane Test Drive. How is that going?
Great. We've definitely been moved to regular rotation at this point. We're just kind of on until they decide that they're bored of us. But I see every day people posting about it, so it's still there. As far as I don't have Sirius XM. So
it is.
So I hear it's still there. That's pretty neat. You know, it just there's nothing really we can do for those kind of things. You can submit your song to Test Drive. You can hope for the best, but ultimately it's just Octane deciding on what songs they like the best to play for their listeners, and their listeners have a big say in what they listen to as well. So I mean, it's such a good place, such a good platform to be on now.
Absolutely. And well, you guys deserve to be there, man, because it is absolutely amazing. And you definitely, it's not a fluke that you're there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Randy, I think that's a great placement for a little clip of Never Enough.
All right. So speaking of, here's a little bit of Never Enough. Absolutely, there it is, right there.
God, it's
and
insane.
that's why you're on Octane.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
But I do have a lot of questions. I mean, it looks like Oscar sings a lot with you. How do you guys decide who's got this part, who's got this part? Because from what I've seen, I think both of you kind of scream and get pretty heavy.
Oh yeah, both of us have a pretty wide skill set. It originally started. He actually wasn't a big vocal member of the band until I don't know, when he joined. I had known him for a long time, and I know what he could do. And I was doing everything before he joined down. I was the only vocalist. We had some harmonies backtracked, but like if you heard top line, that was me. And I was going the entire show. And I just got to be. It was just too much, especially with the back and forth, which is, something I really like being able to do, like the going back and forth between the heavy and the, the clean singing.
Mm-hmm.
It's murder on your voice when you're doing that for 40 minutes plus every night. I ended up starting to have him take some relief screaming vocals, and then it just kind of steamrolled into a little bit more, and then he was singing some parts, and then he was singing really well, and I'd be like, why don't I start putting you on the record? And he was like, no. But eventually we worked him down, and he ended up doing some stuff on the record, and he really liked it. People really latched onto it, and so I just kind of slowly have been giving him a bit more and a bit more and a bit more over the years, and it's great for me. It's like half of these songs I don't gotta do shit for half the time. It's great.
Yeah.
But it all really started with him just me needing help, and some relief here and there. And then it just kind of evolved into him being basically another personality in the group, so
Really cool. That sounds really familiar. We had interviewed Mushroom Head one time, and we're like, how do you guys what is the reason you guys rotate your singers out during different songs? Is it just whoever wrote that song is the one that's singing on it? He goes, dude, it's relief. It's just one of those. He goes, there's people like Corpse Grinder out there that can just the whole time. I don't know how he does it, but we can't do it. So they want a very good live presentation and to kind of maintain their voice throughout the tour, and it makes absolute sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bands that just doesn't work for. Mushroom Head is for sure in one of those unique positions to where they can kind of swap out their singers and no one is going to be bummed about it, Because who's there to watch? I mean, we all like whatever, but who's there to watch them sing? They watch them do all the crazy stuff and the guitar stuff and all that, When it comes to me, I can't really come off that stage without it being a very heavy presence missing. Same with Porter. We had to deal with him being gone a couple shows, and we made it through, but it's real difficult, when you don't have anybody there, and we don't have backup singers waiting off stage to take my spot, unfortunately. So it'd be great.
Right.
So how do you guys go about?
I need.
How do you guys go about writing a song? What's the process that you guys go through?
Wait, I want to jump into that question too.
Okay.
I also want to know where you draw your inspiration for your songs, because you hit some pretty deep topics in some of your music as well.
Oh, like the lyrics?
Oh yeah.
Uh, mostly, unfortunately, from personal experience. So I just write what I know, and I write what I feel like people don't talk about enough, or I try to write from a different perspective that people haven't, or something that I feel about a thing that everybody knows about. Like maybe I have a take that either is going to resonate with someone or make someone think a little harder. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff, just kind of. I'm a whole ass adult at this point. I've got plenty of trauma to work through, and I do most of that through music. And that's just kind of where it comes out. And I don't really do it as like a means to necessarily help others. Like it's not like, oh, I feel like you need this. It's just I need this, and it just the effect of that is that people connect with it, and then that helps others. And I'm grateful for that, for sure.
That's a really good call, because I was like, this is very personal. I mean, say this sober, smiling out of that. I mean, all of that, like, it's home. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of different. All those songs are just different songs about just being a bit honest about the darker sides of just humanity and the darker sides of just being alive, and what, like, without trying to glorify or shine like any sort of, romantic light on some of these negative aspects, because I feel like a lot of times in music, especially like in hip hop and sometimes in rock, people really try to glorify those negative things, like cheating on your partner or doing substances and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that makes that seem fun, and like I don't want to do that when I address it. I want people to feel the hurt that comes with like a lot of those negative, just responses.
Absolutely. So, what elements do you think make a song? What is the most important elements in the song?
You got to be able to groove. You got to be able to dance to it. Ultimately, that's kind of like, it sounds silly being like, from people that really love metal, but like when we write our songs, most of it comes from, like, obviously there's the message and the top line, but that comes later. Like the purpose in the beginning is what is going to get someone to move. When I'm playing a show live, it's not my words that get people to jump out and jump up and down or hit each other. It's how they feel. It's what's happening there. Like it starts with just something that makes you want to actually move. Like if you can find that thing that actually gets you kind of grooving, you build off of that. Generally, that's the core of something good. I guess that's a personal opinion, but yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. I mean, you just that's the root of music. I mean, it's just like make people feel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you've got a lot of festivals this year. This is huge, guys. I mean, well, my wife is like, not Rocklahoma.
Hopefully 1 year.
But we're looking at what is that? Rockfest?
Mm-hmm.
Rock for the People. Download.
Yep.
These are huge. Then of course Rockfest, of course, back in Wisconsin. And you've got them all over the place. Summerfest.
Mm-hmm.
This is great, guys. And
to add on to all those ones that he's talking about, you're playing one in Switzerland, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, we're playing Greenfield. I'm so excited for that one.
Let's talk about that and your upcoming European tour. How did that all come about for you guys?
We're stoked. I mean, obviously, most of us haven't been to that part of the world before, so it's really exciting on that front. Just as wanting to travel, but the fact that we get to travel to this place, some of us for the first time, because of what we've done in our music, that's really, really, really cool. I remember all of the milestones, like, first time playing out of state, first time playing out of city, first time going on tour, and now it's the first time going across the sea to play in another country. So that's really cool. Obviously, all these festivals are nuts. You got what you said. You said Rock for People. We got Download. We got Greenfield and Interlaken. It's just, I can't wait, dude. It's it's going to be crazy. I don't know, Ben. I'm sure Ben has the take on that too.
I mean, honestly, exactly what you're saying is going to be nuts. I had a call earlier with our management team today to talk logistics, and like for whatever reason, like logistics had just become like my thing. I'm like, yeah, that's super fun. Like, let's talk accounting for the band. But it was super fun being on a call, and it's like, okay, this feels real now. Now we're talking like, what airports are we going to fly in and out of? Like, what days are we going to fly in and out? Like, how are we going to travel? Who's going to take us around when we're there? Like, what gear do we need to rent? And it's like, it's going from just like, okay, like Europe would be cool if we did that one day. Like that would be neat, to like, okay, this is happening now and this is real. And it's like all the pieces are starting to fall into place and come together. And it's just really cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane to be just all of this is like, okay, yeah, cool. That'd be a cool little tour. Oh shit, we're actually booking flights now.
Yeah, I remember getting the flyer back for the Europe tour and was like, that's not real. And like I posted and people were excited. I'm like, I'd be excited too if that were real.
Right.
Like, coming together, it's like, okay, this is real. This is happening.
God,
Wow.
insane.
I want to get out the really important part for everybody out there. The best place for them to find you guys online so that they can go find all your stuff. They can find your merch. They can find your socials. I know there's a link tree.
Yeah, using that link tree is probably our favorite one, because it has everything. But whenever people ask me, I always tell them to check out Instagram first, because I feel like most of our fans get the most amount of info there. Plus, it links to everything through there. So if you follow us at Archers US on Instagram, you'll see. We just probably have the most engagement there, or TikTok. TikTok is a great one too. I think it's just Archers on TikTok. But yeah, like that's the best places to find us, because it's just where we're the most active. You can go on Facebook if you're part of my generation or older. You can go on MySpace if you can still find an active server. But ultimately, like I'd say Instagram and TikTok.
Sweet.
You miss Tom.
Yes.
I do. Him and his freaking whiteboard.
Yeah, we were some coding fools back then.
Oh yeah, everybody thought they could code for like 8 minutes back in 2004.
Oh my goodness. So,
I'm a hacker.
are you able to write on the road, or do you need to be home? Do you feel like you need a comfortable place to write, or are you one of those that can just pretty much write anywhere?
As far as like lyrics go, I write wherever I am. I normally write while I'm driving, because that's just kind of when I have the most quiet time to like think about lyrics and melodies and stuff. So I get a lot of my best ideas behind the wheel, and that just I do a lot of that on tour. So I get a lot of time to do that. As far as music and instrumentals go, that's something I'm trying to get better at. It's hard. We've grown a lot in the last year and a half, right? So even the last 2 years, we've been growing exponentially for a couple years now, and it's hard to scale up and keep some sense of normalcy. So I'm really hoping, as we kind of continue on these tours and keep going, that I'll be able to find a little bit more sense of normalcy on the road and be able to get to a good point to where I am able to write. Because right now on the road, it's like all of us are just kind of firing on all cylinders at all times.
Yeah.
Just trying to get the thing done. We have a very bare bones crew. It's just us and a content/merch guy. That's all it ever is. So like everything that's got to get done, it's one of the four of us, generally speaking. So there is downtime. There is time to hang and chill. But like when it comes to, between setting up, tearing down, making sure everything is good, and making sure you get to spend time with the people that you care about, like a lot of times there's not enough hours in the day. I know a lot of people though that do make this work, and I want to get to that point too, where, we've got a bit more crew, things are a bit more relaxed. We can take more time to just kind of like find a quiet corner and set up a laptop and do some actual instrumental writing and things like that. But it gets kind of difficult as you're constantly growing, you know.
That's true.
Yeah. What do you consider one of your greatest achievements as a band? What was the biggest boom for you?
I'll let Ben take that one because I know he's got a couple cool stories.
I feel like at the end of last year we did this tour with Asking Alexandria, and it was like walking into day one of that tour, it was like it's just like one of those moments where it's like, okay, things have gotten bigger. Like this is going from like, you know, us playing bars and like the smallest of clubs you could imagine to like now we're in these like bigger like 1,500, 2,000 cap rooms. We're touring with bands we grew up listening to. Like, you know, we're not like the main source of how people are coming out to the shows we're playing anymore. Like now we're, you know, at the bottom of the food chain, and we're the opening band on these bigger tours instead of like being the headlining band with like our friends or like local bands opening.
Yeah.
It was just like one of those like big moments of like, okay, like this is definitely like a big like check mark, and like we've kind of like reached the next like step on the ladder right now.
With that said, was there a noticeable change for you guys, like when that all started to happen?
Yes.
Like,
There-
was it all like what did you see that was like, hey, this
People
is
at
it?
shows.
Like we're doing it now.
People at shows.
I feel like for years, like when we were touring, it was like, okay, like we're going out making music with our buds and like this is a fun time. And then all of a sudden it went from like, you know, fun good time hangs to like we were at work, and like we get to work the best job in the entire world, but we are at work now. And it was I hope that's not coming across in like a negative or like that way, because it's like a really positive thing going from like, okay, like hopefully this happens to like this is happening now, and it's like it's all go right now.
Right.
Right on. Ashton, I feel like you want to jump in. I'm just kidding. I know you probably don't.
Well, no, I was actually going to say one thing I'm surprised you guys are missing out on, and it's talking about the fact that they're supporting the used here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
I've been waiting for someone to say that, so I'm like, that's actually kind of badass.
Yeah, we buried the lead a little bit there, didn't we? This is it's actually a very new thing. It happened very quick. We just got artwork back. Even like I think we heard about it like a week ago, and then it got announced just in a few days. You know, like so. It's still kind of crazy. It's not a full support thing. It's just one day on their Detroit on the Detroit days. I think we've got some friends playing the other two Detroit days. I think of Virtue is
Unwell and
Unwell is doing one of them, and Funeral Portrait's doing the other one. So yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, like, I think they've got like a whole thing going on, like some tour for their big tour for their, like they're doing all three records. I think that's why they're doing 3 shows in each city. But I'm stoked. I know a lot of people in my band are the Used fans, and I mean, obviously they're one of the mainstays in emo music. So that's gonna be freaking sick to be able to be on the same stage as them.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. The venue too looks insane. I was like, the moment we got it, I like Googled the venue and I was like, oh wow, this is like gonna be one of the nicest rooms we've ever played in.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this is legit.
Yeah,
I just love that you guys are doing that show in Detroit Rock City.
Oh goodness.
Cameo by Tippin.
You're gonna get us taken down one of these days.
No way, we're adding more of those.
Orange Tabby. Are they as crazy as everybody says they are?
No, this is the sweetest sweetheart in the entire world. She's the big old sweet. She like lives right next to my workstation.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Just kind of chilling.
I was like, I take you now.
You hate
Right, you are mine now.
Yeah. I feed her. I don't clothe her. She doesn't wear clothes. But you know, I do all the things you're supposed to do. This is like the one thing I get. It's like I get to take you when I want you. Right? Which sounds really bad if it wasn't talking about my cat. So,
Oh, well, thank you guys so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. As soon as I found out that we were going to have you on, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to see what you guys have planned for the rest of this year, because
Thank you so much, man.
already it's just been huge.
Thank
you.
It's starting off hot.
Yeah, the whole Catch Your Breath tour was insane. You can't wait to keep the momentum going. Hit Europe, then find something cool to do in the fall. That'd be so sick.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And Oklahoma City would be really cool again. And I promise I'll go this time.
I don't want to spill anything too soon, but there's something we might be doing when we get back from Europe that I do think is coming through Oklahoma. I don't remember if it's Tulsa or Oklahoma City, but I think I remember seeing one of those on there.
Nice.
That would be awesome.
That's something to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
I needed that.
Right? Something to look forward to.
Awesome. Well, anyway, you are welcome to join us anytime you guys have anything out there or that you want to put out there. We will make sure that we run it on our social media. If you guys want to talk to us again, just say, hey, we want to talk to these guys. Send us a message, man. Send it to your publicist, and we would love to have you on, and we'll promote you in any way, shape, or form.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah,
It really
thank you
it's
so much.
a lot of fun talking with y'all.
Thank you so much, and you guys have a good evening.
You too.
Take care, guys.
See y'all later.
Have a good one.
Bye. Yeah, I'm really excited about those guys. I can't believe we didn't get to see them. I don't even remember what day was that on.
It was on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It was on Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
so it was recent.
yeah, it was real recent.
Oh, that hurts even more.
They were on tour with, it was the Catch Your Breath funeral portrait tour.
But
Catch your
Yeah.
breath, but they're clearly not catching their freaking breath. They're still running full speed.
but, yeah, those guys are amazing, and they're so young and down to earth, and I'm just like, wow, how does this happen like that? But I mean, they deserve it.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Randy,
Yes, sir. What's that?
play us out.
All right.
We bang your ugly friends too.